What's up, guys? My name is Amichai, and in this video, we're going to cover the getting started with Brilliant, how to send your first AI message, how to interact with the agents, how to create your first elements manually on the canvas, and how to set up your AI provider. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to get up and running and just start creating freely with agents on the canvas. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so what I have currently on the screen is the getting started canvas, which will open by default when you first open Brilliant. And over here, these are just some frames for you to play around with and to get familiar with Brilliant. Let's go over them real quick, and then we'll start talking to our agent. So starting with the very first frame, the welcome frame, then as you can see, Brilliant supports shaders as well. That's the animation running here in the background. And you can configure this in the fills section in the right toolbar. So real quick, let's do orientation. On the right, we have the right toolbar, also known as the inspector. And over here, you have all the properties of the selection. So for example, the fill of the shaders is called metaballs. And over here, if we click this, then we can switch from metaballs to liquid metal, and we can play with different fills over here. So anything that you see on the screen, you can also edit manually. I highly recommend for you to right now stop what you're doing and play with the right toolbar a bit. All you need to do is hover the options and you will see what it looks like, and just get familiar, orient yourself with the various sections. So anything on the canvas, you can fully configure yourself. That's the right toolbar. On the left, we have the layers explorer. And over here, you basically have all the various layers. So each one of these elements is its own layer. And when we hover them, then you can see we also have an indication on the canvas. So when I hover the Brilliant logo over here, then you can see it's highlighting the logo. You can also collapse and expand all the layers by using this button over here, or you can search between the layers by clicking the search button and then searching for what you want. If I click it, then it will actually select that layer. So if I click enter, this selects the welcome frame. Okay, moving on. We have the getting started. This is just a teaser of us sort of sending an iMessage to the agent and the agent doing what we want. This is just to demonstrate that Brilliant is AI native. It's fully powered by agents. You can ask your agent with follow-up questions to say, actually, no, let's make it glass claymorphic. And it'll go ahead and update the design, the existing design, and it will make it claymorphic. Now, what this actually looks like is the following. So you first need to open the AI chat. And to open the AI chat, you can either just use the /, which will open the AI chat over here in the bottom. This is the AI chat. Or you can click this input bar in the bottom toolbar, and this will also open the AI chat. Or you can click Command K, which opens the global search. You also have the search button down here, which will also open the global search. And here you can search anything. So if you write, let's say, focus AI chat, or even just AI chat, then you have the option over here. You can select it, and this also will open the AI chat. Once you have the AI chat, then all you need to do is just click one of these options. These are pre-recorded sessions with AI that allow you to see what the experience with the agents is without burning any tokens, without configuring any provider. So let's go ahead and run some of these. Let's start with the Dev Tool Hero. So when I click this, this will start a replay. Now, this is a real one-to-one conversation that us in the Brilliant team, we had with the agent. And then we internally have this button of like record, and then it can be bundled with the app and you can see it. So this is the actual output. Now I want you to see the process that the agent is going through when it's running. So I'm clicking the DevTool Hero replay, and let's see what it looks like. So you can see that initially it loads these knowledge skills, how to use design systems, how to use typography, colors, things like that. Then it starts creating. It first tried to create something and it didn't succeed. It says no elements affected. But then it got a detailed error from Brilliant, and it knew how to fix its ways to use Brilliant properly. So basically what happens behind the scenes is that the agents have a special programming language that we developed. They're talking to Brilliant in this programming language. And when they get something wrong, then we give them diagnostics. We tell them, listen, this is not how you use the syntax. Or for example, the text here is clipping. you may not have meant for it to be clipping. We give them various diagnostics like things aren't visible. Here you may have a duplicate element. And we have a lot of diagnostics that we give the agent basically eyes to see what was created. So alongside a visual image, they also get this diagnostic. Okay, so the agent finished, and here we have the dev tool hero. Now, I want you to notice that previously when we selected things, let's select something here from the getting started frames, then you can see there is no purple indication on any of the fields in the right toolbar. On the other hand, when I select the hero, you can see that now all the properties have this diamond indication on the right. What is that? So this indication means that the value isn't a static value, so the color of the background isn't always dark, but rather the color will resolve differently depending on the design system and modes. So if we look at the top, you can see there's this section called design system. Over here, we now have a brand new design system called DevTool. Now this design system comes with 3 different main modes. We have dark mode and light mode. Currently it's on dark, but we can also hover over light mode and see what it would look like in light mode. Now this design system and all of what you're experiencing, this was fully created in this around 2-minute session of the AI. So you get this out of the box, the design system and the modes. The last thing over here, and we're not going to dive too deep into design systems, but you can also switch between the design systems. So here I'm switching it between the DevTool design system authored by the agent to the default design system. And this is what ships by default with Brilliant. And over here, again, you have the modes. You can switch between what it looks like. Okay, so again, all we did was open Brilliant, open the AI chat, and click one of the replays. You can run multiple replays simultaneously. So I'm going to run a few in the same time. I'm reminding you again, these are just replays of real conversations. So no AI is actually being called over here. And we can see the agents working in parallel on the canvas. Now, while the agents are creating, you can continue working freely as you wish, since each one of the conversations has its own undo and redo stack. What does that mean? So looking at the DevTool hero that we created earlier, then here we have what was created by the agent. And down here, there's an undo and redo button. If I click undo, then this starts undoing the agent's changes, right? So while the agents are working, you can work, it's not bothering you. But if you do want to undo the agent's work, then all you need to do is go to that corresponding chat and click undo. Okay, the last thing that we're going to be covering in this video is how to set up your AI provider. So currently, we're just watching replays of real conversations, but we aren't talking to AI. Now, if you do not have this X button, that means you do not yet have an AI provider configured. So what you want to do is click the settings. This will open the settings and specifically the AI providers tab. Over here, by default, this will be locked in unless you defined a provider. Once you define a provider, then you can unclick it and then run not in replay mode. So how do you connect an AI provider? For this, you have 2 options. Option number 1 is Claude Code. Option number 2 is an API key for one of the providers that we support. So for Claude Code, if you have Claude Code installed on your machine, this will just work. You'll have the green indication over here. If you don't see it, then recheck the connection. Once it's there, then you can leave playground mode and send messages using your agent. But if you do not have Claude Code installed, then you need to provide an API key for one of the providers. For this, all you need to do is click the edit button and insert your API key and click save. Once you do that, the provider is connected. Now, looking at the various providers that we support, so we support Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, and OpenRouter. So an API key to any of these will let you talk to them. Once you have a provider configured, then you can click the model selector and choose the model that you want. Currently, I'm just choosing Opus 4.7 over here in the chat. And once I did that, then I can send off a prompt. So let's choose a brand new design system. And let's tell the agent to create a newsletter landing, 1-issue cover, editorial confidence. Setting this off, this is now not a replay. This is sent to the actual agent. And now we need to see what the agent will create. So you can see it's starting the exact same way. It's loading the knowledge that it needs. It's understanding the task. And then if it doesn't have any questions for you, then it just starts building like it is right now. And as you can see, this is the speed at which it happens. So it's very similar to the replay. Purposely, the replay gives a realistic experience of what using the AI chat is like. So that's it for this video, just an orientation with Brilliant. In the upcoming videos, we'll dive deep into the AI chat, into design systems, into everything else you can do within Brilliant, because this is a very rich app where you can do many, many things. So that's in the upcoming videos. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to smash the like button. So that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.